Hey, my name is Melissa, and this month, on the 27th of February, is Dominican Independence Day. And I am very proud of my Dominican roots, my Dominican heritage, and I wanted to share with you 4 books that are written by Dominican authors and give you a peek into the Dominican experience. And I'm so excited to talk about them. The first book is Before We Were Free by Julia Alvarez. And in this book, we follow a 12-year-old girl living in Dominican Republic as Trujillo's dictatorship comes to an end. So she is struggling to understand all the complexities that come with the dangers of living in an island under the thumb of an oppressive dictator. And her family is trying to stay safe, stay together. They're trying to make it to the US, where her cousins and her aunt and uncle have already come. And if you've read how the Garcia girls lost their accent, which is way more popular in this book, those cousins are the Garcia girls. And I love this book because it's written in a diary format, so we get to see this very young perspective try and understand her world, which was so impactful and so it was easier for me to grasp and understand the complexities of life then. The second book is the newest one in my library. It's called Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. So in this book, we have 2 sisters. One lives in Dominican Republic, the other one lives in New York City. And their father lives in New York. He comes to DR to visit over the summers. And the sister who lives in Dominican Republic goes to the airport to pick up her father, and her father never makes it. His plane crashes and he dies. And then the story details sisterhood and family and these 2 girls getting to know each other in a more deeper way and understand just what are the things that connect them. And I am so excited to read this book. I imagine I'm gonna cry a whole lot. It's written in prose and maybe poetry. It seems like it might be poems as well, so that's extra exciting. I've read Elizabeth Acevedo's With the Fire on High, but I haven't read her Poet X, so I'm excited to see a little bit more of her poetic side of writing. And yeah, I'm excited that someone has written about this. I don't know if it's specifically about the plane that crashed in 2001 that was headed to DR, but I imagine it is, and it was right after 9/11. It didn't really get a lot of coverage or footage, but everyone that was on that plane died. So I'm glad that someone is potentially talking about it and bringing light to it and honoring those stories as well, those lives. The next book is Undocumented, a Dominican boy's odyssey from homeless shelter to Ivy League, and this is by Daniel Padilla Peralta. And Daniel is a Dominican boy. He was born in Dominican Republic. He comes here. He lives in East Harlem with his mother and I believe brother. I'm not positive on that. Yes, his mother and his brother. And like the title says, he's homeless and he's a very studious young man. So he ends up going to Princeton. And throughout all of this, he's essentially hiding his roots, not fully by choice, it just kind of happens. And yeah, I love that this book challenges the notions of what it means to be an American, what it means to be an immigrant. And yeah, this was a fun one. And I am not one that tends to read memoirs or biographies or autobiographies, but this one is really, really excellent. And again, another very specific story that lets you see into the specific life of one person that I feel like helps you then learn more about people in a larger lens. So awesome book. The last book I'm gonna talk about is Dominicana by Angie Cruz. I've recently read this and I love it. So this is a book that I've been wanting to read for a long time, and I don't know why I didn't pick it up. I think I just was so excited for it, and I didn't want to be let down by it, and I also just so much. And I'm so happy that I have it and that I'm reading it. I'm about halfway through. I'm loving it. And in Dominicana, we follow a young girl, and she's married off. A young girl in the 60s, by the way. So just right around the same time as Before We Were Free. It's maybe a decade after that, something along those lines, like late 60s. And we're following this young girl. She's married off by her family to this Dominican man who lives in New York, and they're hoping that she finds a better future here. But when she gets here, she's in a household where domestic violence is prevalent. So we're watching this girl come of age with an abusive husband. The scenes aren't too graphic, and it's written in such a beautiful way that does not glorify by any means what's happening, but humanizes the girl tremendously. So a lot of beautiful language. The chapters are like very short and sweet. It's incredible. Such a great book. So that's all from me. These were my picks of Dominican narratives and written by Dominican authors, and hopefully you find something awesome to read and maybe learn a little bit more about the Dominican experience. Happy Independence Day, and I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.